What is up, you guys? My name is Angela, aka Salamander. I am actually from the growth team at On-Chain Foundation. This is On-Chain Heroes podcast. We've been doing this for many months, actually, and we've been having lots of creators, founders, builders in the Web3 space, getting their insight about building for the first time, or if this is maybe their, long-term rodeo. We are doing this for the first time, IRL, aka in real life, and I have some GOATs, absolute legends here today. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about the hot takes in Web3, everything from our perspective, from our growth here. We all have different careers here in Web3, so I can't wait to get into it today. I do have Toli here. He's also from Bearish AF. He's a founder there, also from Drip. I have Big Nil as well here from Polygon. I'm going to get them to do a little bit of an introduction about themselves. I've known them from quite some time in the space, so we'll start with Toli, go to Big Nil, and we'll get this started. So Toli, welcome to Canada, guys, both of you guys. So it's kind of cool to have you Americans here.
Good to be here. I've been in Canada, since I was probably 6 years old. So.
Oh, what?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Vancouver. But anyways, Toli, from Bearish and from Drip. Yeah. I met both of you guys in the bear market when there was nothing to do. Everybody was just trying to have fun, like, I don't know, hosting Twitter spaces. Hearing those voices. We were on like kick.com experimenting with live streaming. There's just nothing to do, but we made friends, right? But before the bear market, I actually came in at the start of the prior bull, just like a lot of people, they heard that people were making money.
Yes.
Only I hope. Exactly.
We were really hopeful for some reason.
Yes. Yeah. So, jumped into some coins, into some meme coin, made some money, NFTs. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. I could do something in the space myself. Right.
Yeah.
And so, fired up an NFT collection. And fast forward now, oh my God, 4 years, I think it's been 4 years since the run.
Yeah.
And it's life now. This is life. Outside of Web3, it's like, I don't know, I feel like we live Severance, the show, right? Like where there's a split between, IRL and, work, or like Web3, just two, I don't know, like totally different worlds.
It's just like
I love it here.
It's like an identity.
It is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. And, especially being in NFT land, right? You've got a very specific identity, which can be very different from your IRL persona. So it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I think we'll get into this as well, because there's just so much aspects of like, how do we get started? TikTok actually brought me here, 2021.
Wow,
shout out to TikTok. But TikTok brought me here, and everyone's like stories are so unique, because I know people that have never touched crypto like ever 5 years ago. And then here I am today. And I also came from nursing, which we'll talk about that in a second too. But you're also a father, and were you like a founder before Drip and like Bearish?
Yeah. A long-time entrepreneur, strong history, in e-commerce, media agency, software, before I stepped into Web3. And it's still kind of the same thing, like Web3 is tech. It is software, right? Like if you have an NFT brand or, whatever, in Web3, it is tech.
Yeah.
Right. So, it was a natural fit.
I love that word, because Thanksgivings are awkward. They're like, hey, that Bitcoin thing is down. And I'm like, don't worry, I'm in tech.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's up, I'm in tech. It's a safe place to say. So, that's dope to hear. I'm excited to hear more from your perspective as well. So thank you for that. So we're going to go to Big Nil here. I think I've met you guys both at the same time, but it's cool because, Toli's a founder, has a lot of experience, entrepreneur. And then we have Big Nil, who's also part of the ecosystem at Polygon. Really cool, because I think everybody just has unique skills in Web3. So Big Nil, you take it away. You're also a dad as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of give an intro of who you are and how the heck did you even get into Web3?
Yeah, for sure. So appreciate being here again. Just the invite and the conversations. We've known each other for so long, and now we're like sitting down to kind of like reminisce and also just like reflect on so it's happening this week. But so I've been, my kind of background, how I got involved first, I was just jumping into coins. Like I was part of like the AMC GameStop, like short squeeze, like, right. And so I was big on like Reddit, and I was, searching around, and all those live streamers were just doing things on Bitcoin and Doge and all these other things. So started to look into it, and I just got kind of like encapsulated by the technology behind it. And then I was doing other degenerate things during like the COVID lockdown. And I was
Still are.
You still am. I always do degenerate things in like, small batches. But essentially, I was doing sports gambling, and I was jumping into the DraftKings, and they launched a marketplace, and they were doing trading cards, right? And you were buying with a credit card, right? These little, pictures of Tiger Woods and Tom Brady and all these people. Bought it on like a Tuesday, flipped it for like $40 to $400 on like a Wednesday, right? And you're like, oh, all right, there's something here. Let me look into it. And everything was built on the Polygon blockchain. So it was like the first chain I did like an on-chain transaction with. And since then, just kind of had like a history of supporting the ecosystem in my own unique way. I had my own project as a founder, was building on that side. So it was kind of like one of the core teams.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That one collection, yeah.
So I was there for a while. Doing great work, and that just extended into other like knowledge of the ecosystem. The Utes came over. We had a bunch of run. I got picked up by Magic Eden to help with the marketplace efforts and launchpad things, and that was all Polygon focused. And then naturally transitioned over to full time in the ecosystem. So now I work on ecosystem growth, infrastructure, and a lot of things that we're integrating into things like the ag layer and Polygon POS and all the work we do. So
how many years actually? What year was it when you actually got started into like Web3?
Yeah, so like I started 2020, and then like really jumped in, like involving myself in content like creation and being in like I call it like a layer 2, if you will, in engagement. And it was more so on the side of like 2021. So 4 years like really in depth grinding and figuring it out, and just took some professional skills and pivoted into something that really made me passionate, like this idea you can like, I don't know, release this wild tech into the world, and people just are going to be like, all right, I'm going to build it this way and that way, and let's all share it. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. So I fell in love with the idea overall.
I think a lot of us actually came from, that was like the glory days, like 2021, 2020. And like everybody after that was like either new or just took a break actually. And this is kind of like a perfect little segment to the second part I have here. And like, I mean, you were a founder as well. And now you work with ecosystems with Polygon, and Magic Eden is great too. I know that you kind of transition there. I think it takes a certain type of person to thug this out, because you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
You gotta be crazy. You gotta be Delulu. You gotta be Delulu to like build.
Neurodivergent is the word that we should use.
Wait, there was a word that you said, I think, edumacated. You gotta be super edumacated in this space.
That's right.
That is the totally word. I use that from now on. But I guess I wanted to ask, and I'll go to Toli first, and we'll kind of just really popcorn style it. What does it take to actually make it in Web3? Because when we kind of had that turning point when Ethereum was $800, everyone was scared. The FTX collapse happened. Millions of people lost all their funds and didn't believe in crypto. And we actually started not believing in crypto because we're like, this thing's toast. We kind of still don't know NFTs, but we're like, we're getting there, you know? But what does it take to like make it as a founder or a builder, a believer?
Yeah, I mean, we stuck around because of the relationships, like the friendships, right? Like, that's it. But also it takes resilience. You just got to be very, very resilient. I mean, to experience some of these black swan events that happen, on a macro scale, but also personally, like in your own projects, going through hacks, going through, community stuff, like team member stuff, et cetera, et cetera. It's hard. Sleepless nights.
I was actually going to add, like, shout out to Toli though. And I always say this in every like Twitter space. I was like, shout out to Toli, because you guys were like the third or second abstract project to launch. And I said it to everybody. I was like, it's not easy to launch on a new chain for the first time. We were also like in this euphoric phase for 2 weeks because I would say 2 weeks because we're like, oh my gosh, we're back. And you guys crushed it. I would actually say like an equipped team. You guys knew culture, which is like, you cannot hire someone for culture. Like you can't teach someone culture. You actually just have to hire somebody for culture, right? And I think you guys adopted it really well. Definition of an A team in Web3.
Yeah, definitely the team is really, really strong. I mean, with Bearish, we launched within 24 hours of the abstract mainnet launch. Yeah. And of course, it's insanity, right? And at the time,
you guys are cracked for that.
Our chain was very imperfect. Like there were problems. There wasn't enough liquidity, right? There was some stuff with like smart contracts and stuff. Yeah. Right. But like, but we like stuck through it, right? And also the community was very strong. And actually it was the merging of two other communities coming from Ethereum onto abstract, and we believe in abstract. We believe in Luke Canet's, the Pudgy team, the abstract team, everybody there.
The whole
is
ecosystem is
awesome.
crazy.
We took a big bet.
So smart.
We took a big bet on him, and and it's like it was definitely the right thing to do.
I think it was a smart move because you guys just like building in public and also being a founder. I'm not a founder myself, but I work with a lot of founders. And I know as a factor in Web3, you got to move like 100 times faster than you are a founder in Web2 because you're moving with the market volatility. A lot of people are more emotional because they're like, my bags are at zero, or my bags need to be higher. It's like unrealistic, which is another segment we'll actually get into today, which I can't wait to talk about. But yeah, I mean, shout out to you guys because huge success. I mean, you guys did this whole March Madness thing. You guys like burned like some of the people that were like some of their NFTs. So I mean, I would love to kind of hear a little bit, a little TLDR what you guys are doing now.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I mean, coming from, coming from two separate NFT communities, myself and Scotty, my co-founder. So I had Bad Bears on Ethereum. He had Brawler Bears. Coincidentally, they were both bear themed. We met, in the bear market, and we just started chatting, getting along. And then we started to work on Drip together, right? Drip is a virtual economy infrastructure, basically community engagement platform. We got about 1,600 communities that use it right now, about 7 million members. And so that told us that maybe we understand community. Like maybe we know what we're doing, like at that kind of scale, but also on a, just more personal because we had our own communities. Mm-hmm. And we kind of figured like, hey, let's merge our two communities into one and see what can come from it, right? And so, so the team is very, very, very strong, very, technically strong, as well as culturally strong, and to the point that we actually support a lot of abstract projects, like top abstract projects, like with their tech, as well, right? So, and a big thing that we decided with Bearish specifically was, and this came from lessons we learned, is don't make promises, don't set expectations, because once you set an expectation, you're basically setting a ceiling, right? There's a ceiling of expectation that you set, and people kind of wait for that. Mm-hmm. And in Web3, everything just moves so quickly, and can change on a dime like that you just cannot make those kinds of promises. Surprise people instead. Right? Yeah. And so
I think that's why I really like what you guys did.
Yeah, that's our philosophy is we're always going to be building stuff because we're product people, and we're just going to surprise our community, and our people and do it over and over again. And I think that's the right recipe because people will come to expect surprises, like good surprises.
I mean, before I go to Big Neil here, one more question because you guys built in public, but you guys also built behind the scenes pretty well, where you're just like, here it is, let's have some fun as a community. And I love that because crypto is not like crypto Web3. If you guys are listening to this for the first time, it's a lot of fun actually. When you actually get to if you don't know what you're doing at all, honestly, you learn a lot from spaces and good communities like yourself and a lot of great abstract doing a lot of great ways to kind of make that, pivot for a lot of people. What do you kind of what's one piece of advice you kind of have for a lot of founders right now to kind of make it? Because it is very tough mentally to have people in your ear, to have your team being like, what are we doing? When you clearly know what you're doing, right? But, everything is coming at you at once.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the first piece of advice I give to somebody, when they ask me, whether they should be a founder is I say, don't be a founder in Web3 because...
What I say too when trading, I'm like, don't trade actually.
Yeah. Because
don't do any of this.
Yeah. Because, it's very different from Web2. Web2, you can start a company. If it's not working out, okay, you can shut it down. In Web3, once you make the decision to start a company, or a brand, you have to have a community, and you can't quit. You can't quit because your reputation is going to suffer.
Everyone's staring at you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a rug puller.
So
for the rest of your life.
Unless you're fully committed, or you have a lot of resilience, you just don't do it first of all. But if you do choose to do it, stick through it. The ups and downs. Like pick your people, pick your chain, and just stick with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like now I'll go to Big No here too, because I know you were like thinking here. I can see the transaction, like the TXNs, IRL. Big No's doing it right here. But I want to hear your experience, how you kind of got through it. Also, like being a parent. I'm not a parent yet, but being a parent in Web3, like you are a degen for sure.
Yeah, definitely doubling down on it. That's but I was kind of just thinking as Tolly was talking, just the different like path to be a founder, and kind of how we're saying like sticking through things and like being resilient and all those things, and when it comes back down to for I don't know, individuals that are looking to progress their professional life, right, into Web3, it's like just becoming absolutely obsessed with something.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to get this mindset that your solution, your product, your tech stack, your anything, right, is the solution, right? It's gonna be the thing. Because like we all joke around about like believing in something, right? That's like a joke that people say, like, oh, I believe, just believe it, it'll just keep moving forward, right? But like that belief is like the only way that you make it when like 90% of what we're doing, 95 more, right, is gonna not work. Like that's what it is. We're in a massive ecosystem where we're all trying different shit, and some stuff's working and some stuff's not. But when it all comes down to it, you will be absorbed by somebody else. Your education, your knowledge will be like you'll get employed somewhere, right? You'll transfer to something else. It's very applicable to other stuff, right? So that's what I keep telling people, like, you want to work in this industry, you better be ready, like obsessed with it. Stay up
like,
late.
when you say you better be ready, do you mean like you better be quick on your feet to pivot? Because that's what I kind of feel like Web3 is. Like it's not like your Twitter account is the resume.
Yeah. I mean, I say this to all my friends, like my entire thesis is that like your digital resume is more important than your like physical resume.
I haven't touched my physical resume in 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. Like homies lose jobs, and the next day they're on the timeline. They're getting like 10 offers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just because of how they've already proven themselves in a digital sense, right? So it comes back down to that. Like, how do you want to put in your time into the digital future? Do you want it to be through a business? Do you want it to be as a community member? Do you want it to be as somebody that does something unique, right? Because there's going to be proof in the future, 20, 30, 50 years from now. We're going to look back at all this and be like, hey, there was value in this because I saw it actually happen, right? So I don't know. I come back to that being like obsessed, and obviously just like continuing through all that struggle. It proves something about yourself. It's not for everybody, 100%. Like, so don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, do you ever feel like this too? And because like I remember when I first transitioned into Web3, I was still working my nursing job, but I was like, I want to do something where I can enjoy life. I can work from home, and I could, actually. I became like consistently profitable in trading for trading futures. So that took a long time, but I was like, that was a goal of mine. So would you kind of also say that like you kind of have to pivot on your feet faster? Like from your experience, I kind of just want to hear that, because you did really good with Magic Eden. Like that's a huge company, right? And people like I want to hear some advice too. Because people, I don't even know what to do next, right? And when they lose that job, they're like, oh my gosh, everyone's going to FUD me, or I'm not going to make it. You guys, if you're listening to this, you cannot Google, I'm looking for a Web3 job. Like, it's not like LinkedIn, right? It's who you know.
Yeah. I mean, like, you have to like put yourself in the right position.
Yeah.
And like, when it comes back down to it, it's like all these companies have like an intention, right? Like, for certain companies like Magic Eden, it's very like, hey, it's attention driven, it's volume based, it's capturing narratives. Like that is like how they have success. And they've done a great job of it. And they've hired the right people, like Vo, Johnny, like all those guys. People are just like
Giga Chads.
Yeah, that's what it is. Giga Chads that like understand the space really well, and they know how to move at the speed of culture. Like that's what you need to be able to do, right? And there's other companies, right? Like I've worked at Magic Eden, worked at Polygon. Don't know if you guys don't know this. We're not very cool on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like we're not very like people don't think
you are.
Polygon. Yeah, 100%. We're not, and we're not gonna be. And that's not what we want to be, and that's not where we're winning.
Actually, Steve K. Bark, I was talking to him yesterday.
Loves it.
Yeah, no, he was saying, I love Polygon. They build in silence, and they have really good products, actually. So shout out to Steve K. Bark. I had a call with him yesterday.
Yeah. Steve is a homie, and again, like I'm good with that, and it's not our target because the people that utilize our stuff most effectively aren't gonna know. You know what I mean? So like there's different tracks, right? Is it I got a social direction of this and I want to be on the flashy team and do some cool stuff, and like that's great. Value in that culture is like the most unique thing about Web3, right? But there's also like a different way where it's like, hey, I have this like XYZ amount of skills. I've built this resume. I've worked this team. I've done this dev work, whatever it is. And that is the technical way to like jump into the space and kind of in that direction work for your own, whatever you want to. So it's kind of interesting that there's different directions to do it for sure.
Yeah. And like the different directions have actually kind of shaped all of our lives, really. Because like, you don't just go from being a community manager to like a founder next day, right? Like it takes time. And I actually want to kind of dive into my next question here is like, how has actually Web3 changed your lives? Because when I tell people like about Web3, right, it's kind of like the crypto side of business, realistically. I have more time to my hands in real life. I can actually show people, hey, this is the tools that are actually coming out and they're going to change our lives in 10 years. So I guess we'll kind of go around. Actually, we'll go to Totally. Yeah, we'll go to Totally and then we'll go Big Nil. But I think crypto changed a lot of the lives for people. Not generational bloodline, like generational wealth, tar my bloodline yet. Not yet. We're praying to the ETH gods, but
definitely. First of all, it explodes your network.
Yeah,
explodes your network, right? I would have never ever met you guys if I was still at Web 2. So,
give a little aw.
So definitely that. Like you meet people, right? First on Twitter or TikTok or even LinkedIn. And then an IRL at events like this, right? And so that's very powerful in itself.
Yeah.
But you also do, I think, because everything is so online and it's so magnetic because of the culture and like the relationships, is you do kind of become a little bit introverted. You kind of like
I can see that.
You're home a little more, right? You're at your computer a little bit more.
I don't know how to act when I go to parties. I'm like, well, I don't even go anymore. But when I do, I'm like, you guys want to learn about crypto?
You're that person in the corner. Do they even know who I am?
Yeah, they don't know I'm Salamander.
Yeah, exactly. So it's they know. Yeah, it makes you just much more, I guess, introverted, which which can be a good thing. Which can be So it's great. I love Web3.
Yeah,
it's a blast. Like if anything, it's fun. It is fun, right? Everybody's running around with adjective animals as their PFPs, and just being themselves on the timeline and in Discord, and then like all these different platforms, whether it's like Discord or Telegram or Twitter or whatever, right? Like they all have their different like vibes. Telegram is just like rapid fire, intense. Discord's a little bit more chill.
I feel Twitter, like you can build a community better, if that makes sense. Like on Discord, because you can get people roles, they can like claim their wallets. I don't know. Telegram's cool though, but I've been a Discord homie forever.
Maxi.
I definitely prefer Discord.
Yeah, you could
just connect with people better. hop into a VC room, like et cetera, et cetera. So Web3 is a blast. I love it.
And it's in the same vein for me, but like I always my favorite about Web3 is that I'm just like, it's the most direct digital exposure avenue that we've ever had, right? Like whoever it is some person around the world that fell in love with this idea, in theory, or the idea of making money, also fine. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a purist and there's a financial way that you get into this space. But it's given myself and like, I think all the people around me a more like diverse exposure. And that like that diversity of like people and knowledge and all these like different ideas coming to space makes it really unique. Yeah. Like like nobody ever thinks that you would need to like, tokenize XYZ or like you do all the crazy on-chain things that we have the ability to do now, mutate, PFP and do this. And then there's all this other tech going on in the background with tokens and then how you do different DAO work. It's so diverse.
Right.
And that's life-changing, right? Because it allows you to expand how you think about like other things in your life. You're like, damn, like my mortgage, it's really hard to pay because there's 5 different people I have to divide that money between. Like that shit, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why we're here. Like we could impact that. If we all get on the same boat and try hard enough, maybe. We hope.
I think like RWAs is something like that too, right? Where I think like it's a little bit more complicated for Canadians, sadly, but for Americans, it's actually a lot easier because there's less rules. You can do fractionalize, like pretty much you can own a portion of like the mortgage of like a building and not even actually be like the whole ownership. So if it gets sold, you get part of it.
And it's not just like homes too. Like it can be a t-shirt. Like a t-shirt can be an RWA. Like you can sell an NFT of a t-shirt,
luxury items,
and just redeem it later, or sell it, whatever.
Yeah. I think it's crazy because it really has changed my life to think. I've always known I've always been like a critical thinker outside the box. But then, like I said before, you can't Google how do I get a job in Web3. We all are here because we all just learned from each other and we just like kind of like built this like pile of knowledge. So I'm on. I mean, you're on a lot of spaces too. So you've and AKA live streamer here too.
Yeah, well, I always say like whenever I do a live stream or like a space or like an educational like whatever I'm saying, I never call myself an expert, right? Because there's like learning little bits and pieces from all these other people that are way smarter than me. So I'm always like, if you run into like a guy, it's like, oh, I'm the crypto expert, I know XRP super well, I'm HBAR guy. It's like, dude, like, yeah, that's cool, but like, there's so much more you need to know.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to know it all.
XRP army is an army or in there. Okay, we got the live stream going on too, guys. So on TikTok.
But it's funny. Just you can't know it all. So I lay off the whole like, oh, I'm an expert in this. It's just like, yo, we're all just like figuring this thing out together. There's gonna be new things that happen tomorrow that I need to know really fast, and it helps me if I have people around me that understand it. Because like I'm a brain that needs to be coached in things, and I need to tell it back to somebody else. Like I do TikToks and all that stuff because it's fun, but also for my own benefit. Like I'm learning how to like speak this thing that I just basically got a general sense of. So it's cool how that educational community kind of builds around this whole new idea that we're working on together.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun because you go ahead, Totally.
Yeah. I was gonna add, it actually genuinely feels like we live in the future too, right? I mean, obviously the tech, right? That's
it's not flying cars, but it's like close.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe we can like deepen flying cars.
Cars is a DeLorean. Figure it out.
Yeah, maybe. And even stuff like community, right? Community in Web3, it doesn't exist in the same way in Web2.
No, it doesn't.
In small pockets, it
You're
does. Right, like gaming and like creators and like influencers, but like in Web3, the way we do community here is amazing. It's insane, right? And I feel like Web2 is going to catch up at some point, right? Like
they have to.
Like, are they? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's Xbox.
That's a good one.
It's like streamers. And that's why I think that like the whole streaming fiasco that's happening right now, right? With Kai and with Sketch and like all these different like different events like Phase and all the things that happen, right? That is.
Wait, can you tell me more about that?
Do you know?
No.
Do you know anything about it? You know any of those people?
No.
Okay, it's cool. So like streaming is like it's just like
LA Vape Cabal.
Yeah, well,
okay.
It's sometimes.
I do like Thread Guy.
I love Thread Guy. They're all good people in their own ways, right? Like so, but essentially, like there is just. Social media is now much more about building an interpersonal relationship, which is like an idea that I can have this like connection with somebody I've never met before through an interaction that I have with them digitally. It's like I love Taylor Swift, so therefore Taylor Swift has this like I feel like I have a connection with her. Now it's through all these like regular humans, streamers who's doing the same thing in his room across the world, but it's like I'm a part of like this little like side like, oh, I have people who are also doing the same thing I am, right? So people get on streams because they want that interpersonal connection with that person, Kai Cenat and all these Sketch, all these streamers, but also because they want to interact with the chat. Like they want to see other people that also believe in what they believe. So how we're building like that is the most close thing I see is like streams and this digital relationship that this little community is building, right? It relates into like Web3 is just the incentive model for that, right? It's the next level of what that can look like.
And speaking on that, like, it seems like Web2 has a one-to-many community model. So you have the Kai Cenat and his community, and they're all chatting, of course on the on the stream, like great, but there isn't a many-to-many relationship like we have in Web3, right? Like in Web3,
everyone's connected and they have to be.
Yes,
in Web3,
exactly. Like you're in a Discord or a Telegram with the community, and you can talk to everybody there. Whereas, like in Web2, it like everybody's kind of siloed, right? It's like a one-to-many. Everybody's kind of siloed in their own like pocket and their like relationship with the streamer, and like maybe like somewhat with others in the chat. But in Web3, like it's much more powerful because
you're encouraged to connect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because you can build relationships with the other community members. And that's like, it's not like that in Web2 at all. And even with businesses and brands, right?
It's a different beast. Like Web3 is crazy. So I hope people are listening to this and if they don't know Web3, like learn about it from Twitter Spaces. That's like where you should probably start. don't be shy. I think actually we are a lot more nicer now. I mean, we've been nice.
Less cannibalized, that's for sure. Less in our camps.
Yeah, in 2021, you did not go on Twitter Spaces. Like you weren't allowed to.
I would have a really good take.
Yeah,
exactly.
or you're gonna roast Sid. Yes.
Leaf says have a good take, or have a take whether it's a good or bad one. But yeah, but mine are mostly bad stuff.
Thank you, Leaf. Yeah. But yeah, before we even get into the next segment, which is kind of the hot take, and everyone loves hot takes because it gets controversial, and that's when the fun comes. But this podcast is actually supported by On-Chain Foundation. This is On-Chain Heroes podcast. On-Chain Foundation is a organization that looks to bring people into Web3. To either build for the first time or their founders, creators, innovators. And we actually have a founding membership mint coming soon. And this has been so fun. But we're going to get back into the hot takes. So the hot take that I had for today was, what cycle are we actually in? Everyone's like, we're in a bull market. Actually, this is like the peak of the hot takes. But what cycle are we in? Everyone's like, oh my gosh, we're so back. We're in a bear. What are we in? I have no idea.
Yeah. So like I compare every cycle to like, I mean, a lot of people do this. And like shout out to Easy for like when I first heard this.
He's super knowledgeable.
I mean, Easy is like, I mean, he's like I don't know. I think he's the most trusty like KOL we have out there, right? Like trustworthy overall.
Shout out to Bodogos.
Yeah, Bodogos is the shit. I think that we're in like the 7th inning stretch. Like I'm a baseball game.
Polar bear.
No, but like 7th inning stretch of like what this cycle is. Okay. Like baseball's a long game. Like you get bored in the middle of it usually, right? And like that's the thing. Like there's these different like parts of the game where you're like really more tense than others. And I think right now we're in the end of this game, or not the end of this game, but this like warming up portion of this game where like, damn, like okay, we got to take our pitcher out because he's getting tired, and we got to figure out a new strategy here. And that's where we're at, right? We're at somewhere where it's like more people are believing in this from a government perspective. Worlds are groups around the world of economies are doing different things with the tech. And then now it's like, how is this going to impact from an institutional level, right? When your Googles are, talking about things, when your Amazons are jumping in for payment processors, like that's a big sign that we're probably not over yet, right? But we are in this like anxiety portion of what's the next move. So we're all sitting on our.
I would say like discovery phase.
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah,
like late discovery for me. I would say make your connections now before it's
too late.
Honestly, that's what it is.
Before it's too late for what?
It's like, dude.
Totally asking the question.
Like the end of the run?
Not the end of the run. I just say like the moves will be happening, and if you haven't established them, it's going to be too late to make massive, momentous stuff happen
before the super cycle,
before something. Oh, that's super cycle.
Yeah. Because I was trying to figure out if I have the opposite view of you or not.
Fair.
I think that everybody's still waiting for the big catalyst, the big thing that's going to happen.
What does that look like, Gil?
Yeah. I mean, it could be regulation, right? Okay. Stuff there's kind of going on, over there. Could also be AI.
Access to the tech through AI is what you're saying.
Well, like last night I was talking to the head of AI strategy at HBAR at Hedera. We were talking about what's going to spark the super cycle, what's going to spark the bull run. And he strongly believes that it's going to be the agentic internet. When AI starts to realize, we need to use blockchain. We can't use the fiat systems to do stuff, right? And they're going to start to look for the right chain to use, et cetera, et cetera. So, so he believes that like the next run is actually, it's going to be sparked by AI, right? And like agents talking to each other and paying each other, for certain things, et cetera, right? So personally, and maybe, in my mind, I'm comparing the previous bull run to kind of where we're at right now. And I really genuinely do not feel like we're not in a run. Yeah, it's a build up for sure, but we really haven't had that thing, that catalyst, which I think that like Trump is trying to do. I think he's tried to do it. He's probably meeting a lot of resistance, but I just feel like we haven't really hit it yet. And to your point, you have to position yourself properly. Just whatever that means for you, on a tokens you're invested in, whatever, on memes, or I mean NFTs, et cetera,
Connections, everything.
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely everything.
Because once the run hits, it's like you have to hold on for dear life. It gets crazy.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
It doesn't even feel real. So, I mean, if you guys are new listening to this and you're like new to Web3, new to crypto, kind of joined a couple years ago, 2021 was not real. Like you would mint an NFT and you would buy it for like $200 maybe, make $5,000 to $10,000 in 10 minutes. You know, that was literally not real. And you would actually have two of them. So you could actually double your profits. And it just wasn't nobody really knew what we were doing. It was just hype. It was pure hype. It was all euphoric. I think now, it's interesting because people ask me like, are we bull? Are we bear? I actually feel like we're in this discovery phase. I think that in the beginning of the year, we thought that we were going to be in this hyperbolic like 2021 vibes, but we're figuring out AI. We're figuring out what the heck is a better way to use DPIN, right? We're looking at L2s and we're looking at products. Like it's just all these different things that make up Web3 that we actually didn't even know that we needed years ago. But it's funny because we're kind of, although this year has been really successful with a lot of projects launching and products, I actually feel, and this is a huge hot take that a lot of people don't agree with me, but I feel like we have too many L2s. I feel like we need more products that are going to like support our vision long term, and that's why I'm a fan of AI. I think it'll bring people into Web3. But I want to hear what you guys think about do we need more L2s? Do we need more products? Like, what do we need to actually make this a better place for Web3? Maybe we'll go to Big Nil.
This is a trick question. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I work at an L2, right? Like, and I work at an L2 that is bullish.
He's like, they're watching.
Well, sure, let them watch. I work at an L2 that also is bullish on building L2s for people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, our entire purpose with, like, how we aggregate people is, like, hey, if you have a chain, plug it in, right? Like, plug it in and use our really cool tooling set. Like, that is the general thesis, and it's easier for you because we have that built out already. So being said that, I think that if you're not building with a purpose and your layer or your product, your app, whatever it is, doesn't accomplish something specifically, right? Like we've gotten very general purpose chainy sometimes, right? Like we've gotten very like overarching, and I would take that as an ownership on like what Polygon has sometimes done wrong. Let's do too many things. Let's do gaming. Oh, let's do this. Let's do that. Like 1,000 different narratives. You can't control them all, right? Mm-hmm. And that's not saying we're bearish on one area or another. It's just saying make sure that when you're building now, because everyone is building infra, make sure that you're focusing on one thing or another, and make sure that you have a use case, and make sure that you're building for, making sure that you're in a good spot for when you need more than just what you have as a tool set. Yeah. Like, and that's interoperability, that's more connections, that's the direction that we see it as.
Absolutely. Totally take it away.
Yeah. I personally think that competition is very, very healthy. Competition sparks innovation. Because to stand out, to actually be successful, you have to innovate. You have to do something different, which forces everybody else to either innovate or die, mm-hmm. right? So I think at some point there's just going to be too many L2s, and somebody's going to come up with a solution that, now it doesn't matter, right? Like there's going to be like some sort of like interconnected system where you can just travel between Ethereum to Polygon to Abstract to Mezzo to to Bitcoin, et cetera, et cetera. So I think competition's healthy. It's natural.
Yeah.
People are going to go, and businesses are going to go to where the money is, and apparently there's a lot of money in L2s because there's a lot of L2s.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think the more the better, and the best ones will win for sure.
I think the more that we know, the more we can kind of wither away of what's actually going to work in the next 5-10 years. So I'm excited. I mean, so far so good. I mean, one thing I wanted to say before my last question here was this podcast has been really, really fun, and IRL for the first time. So this is actually kind of cool. It's better than using Riverside and me talking to people, although I've really enjoyed talking to a lot of great founders in the space. Last but not least, we'll take it to Toli, we'll take it to Big Nail, and then we'll kind of close it up. And I can't wait for more podcasts like this. But this is the question of the year. Actually, this has been the question. How the heck do we reach mass adoption? Because we've been trying to put that down everybody's throats for the longest time, and we still don't have that answer, I guess. But I want to go to Toli. Yeah. We'll go to Big Nell after.
Make it fun and easy.
Mm-hmm.
Just make it fun, right? Attract people because it's fun. It's a fun place to be, and it's easy to use it, period, right? Just have a good user experience. People will be there, right? Like Web 2 apps, like you use Instagram, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody in Web 2 is spoiled by extremely good UX. It's optimized to make you really want to use those apps. It's fun. It's easy to use. Web 3 still suffers from like poor UX, right? Like, I'm sorry, but MetaMask sucks.
I love MetaMask.
It's I can't.
Yeah.
Like I can't even use MetaMask on my phone. It's terrible.
True.
And I have a brand new phone. Like it's weird. I don't know if I have like a lemon, installed or something, but anyways, so Web3, like it's got to be easy to use. And there's got to be a lot of fun like stuff on it. So that's my take.
Yeah. And I'm with you on that side too. Like the most stuff I speak on is the stuff I've experienced with, and it's like, it's the poly market method. I mean, it's just what it is, right? Like, it's like, wow, this is a very unique way that you can, make a guess on what's going to happen in the world. And it's a fun, innovative thing, and people feel like they're a part of like some action, and it has like threads and culture behind it. And so it comes back to building things, like you said, fun and easy to use. And finding like what is, you're never going to follow the narratives, right? You're never going to follow everything because it's moving so fast. But like, what is the mass adoption thing? It's like, how do we hide these wires as well as possible? I think that we are all at one point being like, they need to know the tech. They need to feel the pain that I felt, right? Like like when it was hard, right? Like, I mean, how many bridging jokes have I heard in my life, right? And it's like, so like, that is not how we win. It's like, let's make sure that this is frictionless. Let's make sure that this is easy, and give them something they don't have in the real world right now, which is like opportunity, passive yield, like unique use cases. And that's what we're looking to do in the next year here. It's gonna be exciting.
I think I got really good information from both of you guys. So I just want to say shout out to you guys. Welcome to Canada. You're back again. This has been really, really fun. So I appreciate both Big Nil and Toli being here today. This has been a lot of fun. And if you're watching this from YouTube, this will be on Spotify, YouTube, and Pods Media, where you can buy the podcast from Base, actually. We'll be on all platforms. But I just want to say thank you guys for listening today. This has been a lot of fun. And let's keep cooking.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Salamander.
Awesome.
Shout out to Salamander.
Yeah. Awesome.